Another thing that gets lots of media coverage but has questionable use is vaccinations. Our very own Department of Health and Human Services provided interesting information about getting your flu vaccine for 2010 through 2012.
The Flu Vaccine Finder, or Flu Finder, is a useful tool that has been developed in collaboration with HHS, Google, and the American Lung Association. It can provide a location where you can get influenza vaccine and gives the address and phone numbers of that place. And also, Google can get you a map to show you exactly how to get there.
We are then told that production of the vaccine is largely a private endeavor.
The production of influenza vaccine and its distribution is largely a private endeavor. However, the Department of Health and Human Services plays a very important role in answering questions and providing access to the vaccine and providing educational materials so that the public can get the vaccine that it needs for protection. And along those lines, remember, flu.gov will provide the latest up-to-date information.
So one should ask, why is the government getting involved in products produced in the private sector? The healthcare industry went into panic mode over H1N1 swine flu.
Probable or presumed 2009 H1N1 or swine flu in recent months.
This is a new virus. It has skipped from one animal species to another. This has a little bit of bird, a lot of pig. It's in humans. It is new to most Americans. It is going to cut a swath through those who have no immunologic memory for it. That's why it's a big deal.
New York State and New Jersey will get their first doses of the swine flu vaccine some point next week.
We now know 12-year-old Victoria Sousa of Bristol and 12-year-old Skylar Raposa Alves of Lincoln both died of H1N1.
We've learned that there have been 2 more H1N1 related deaths in Rhode Island.
The H1N1 virus has made thousands of people across the country sick. Many have died, and some worrying that it could grow into a full-blown pandemic.
They say 36 children have died from the virus in the United States. 7 of those children under the age of 5.
A new survey shows that 1/3 of British nurses have said that they will not take the swine flu vaccine because they're worried about the possible side effects.
Well, just today, Washington State University announced that 2,000 of its students have reported symptoms of H1N1.
So the idea there that we're going to forcibly quarantine people is absolutely absurd.
Gives police the power to forcefully quarantine, vaccinate, fine, and even throw in jail people who do not comply with the law.
In case the government asks FEMA for help, the government will be ready there with the military, we're told. It's as health officials race to get vaccines ready.
Fox News has confirmed that Northcom has a proposal sitting on the desk of Secretary of Defense Robert Gates that would authorize the military to back up FEMA should there be an H1N1 pandemic.
If you've been diagnosed with probable or presumed 2009 H1N1 or swine flu in recent months, you may be surprised to know this. The odds are you didn't have H1N1 flu. In fact, you probably didn't have flu at all. That's according to state-by-state test results obtained in our 3-month-long CBS News investigation.
On Monday, Spain became the first nation outside North America to confirm a case of swine flu.
They're doing vaccinations in the schools.
And safety is really the issue here.
Schools will get the vaccine, and doctors, nurses, and clinics will help schools administer the shots. They'll be free to students.
Apparently children were used as, for lack of a better term, guinea pigs in Oklahoma. I know from talking to people in the research community, even scientists who helped develop the vaccine for smallpox are saying they're not going to take the vaccine and urging their friends and family not to take this vaccine either.
In short, only a small fraction of cases that doctors flagged as most likely to be swine flu actually tested positive for swine flu at state labs. The vast majority of the cases were negative.
That's right. Our nation was thrown into panic mode by our very own government, and the unending barrage of media coverage reminding everyone of the necessity of getting their H1N1 swine flu vaccine. Yet of those tested, the true accounting of H1N1 cases was next to nothing.
In California, they took 13,000 specimens, and of those, 296 were swine flu, 12% were other flu, 86% were negative for flu altogether.
Turns out it was all hype, based on bad information, and many people received vaccines for no good reason. But what did the government and many other vaccine manufacturers get out of it? A test. They found out just how many people could be scared into getting a vaccine and how quickly the vaccine makers could come up with a vaccine on short notice if needed. Also, the more recent batch of swine flu vaccines had an eerily similar side effect in common with its mid-1970s brother, Guillain-Barré syndrome, which affects the peripheral nervous system. Another dangerous side effect of the vaccine was narcolepsy. This would be a good time to note that, even with all the hype about swine flu and the vaccines developed at breakneck speed, there wasn't enough time to properly test the vaccines, and the vaccine manufacturers were exempt from lawsuits by the government in case side effects were found.
In California, they took 13,000 specimens, and of those, 296 were swine flu, 12% were other flu, 86% were negative for flu altogether.